Welcome back. All right, so we're going to talk about 7 NHL games on tonight's schedule. We have 12 tomorrow. There's one matinee game, so I'm going to record the preview tonight that we'll post to the channel tomorrow morning. So, yeah. So we'll start things off in Buffalo. The Buffalo Sabres, their season's it's trending in the direction we expected it to. So they got off to that nice start. Remember the nice start? I remember the nice start. It was Georgiev versus Luukkonen in this one. Okposo has exits in the first minute, and I wondered, is that equipment or an injury? It was equipment, so he was fine. Rangers had chances at 2 minutes. We then got Barclay Goodrow and John Hayden in a fight. So Hayden gets tripped up on the play, takes the fence, and Goodrow, to his credit, drops the gloves. Zibanejad has a chance that's saved. There's a post for Keandre Miller. There's a power play for the Rangers, and they score on it. Zibanejad from Panarin and Fox at 4:48. Very good first period for the Rangers. That one also went off of Luukkonen's back and in, so no chance for Luukkonen on that. Rangers go back to the power play. That was a no. Pesek has a chance saved. There were some good Sabres chances there. Fast breaks by both teams. Pretty fast stretch of action there. Okposo has a rush chance that saved. Hinostroza was denied, but it's 1-0 Rangers after one. Second period. Early press by the Rangers. Girgensons has a rush chance that won't go. Back and forth chances follow that. Jankowski fires one wide. The shots were 5-2 for the Sabres at 8 minutes. So they came out pretty well. And then it changes. Lafreniere scores from Fox and Hedel at 9:47. And it was a beautiful rebound. So Fox takes the shot, not intending to score, but intending for the goaltender to kick it out and that rebound to go to where Lafreniere puts it in. So it's one of those nice ones, and it's a smart move by a player. And I always like to see that, where they intentionally don't get the goal. They know they're not going to get it. It's the rebound they're looking for. Miller then has a shot hit the crossbar. Sabres end up going to the power play. Good late chances, but the Rangers do kill it off. So the power play does get some opportunities late in that one. Thompson then can't bury one. Kakko's denied as the Rangers press. Cousins has a rush chance that's saved. With 44 seconds left, the Sabres go to the power play. That rolls over into the third period. The Rangers finish the kill. The shots are 5-1 for the Sabres at 5 minutes. There's a press by the Sabres at the half. A lot of icings in that third period. A lot of them by the Rangers as they were sitting back. And when a team is sitting back with a 2-goal lead, I usually get nervous. But with Buffalo, they're having so much trouble lately, it didn't really make me nervous in this case. So Gauthier has a chance that's saved. Thompson has a chance that's blocked. The Rangers had a 3-on-1. Luukkonen saves there. And then Murray puts Buffalo on the board from Pesek and Okposo at 14:37. The Sabres then press for the tie. There's a goaltender pull with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And the Sabres tie it pretty much immediately. However, it's determined that that was offside. So they end up pulling the goaltender again with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. But they're unable to tie it. Things get kind of punchy at the horn. Late hit thrown in the game and all that. The Rangers end up winning this one 2-1. They go to 18-5-3. Buffalo drops to 8-15-3. And so these teams continue to move in completely opposite directions. Shots, 12-6 Rangers in the first, 13-12 Buffalo in the second, 18-7 Buffalo in the third. Final shots 37-31 for the Sabres. Power plays 1 for 2 for the Rangers, 0 for 2 for Buffalo. Hits were 17-5 for the Rangers. Georgiev saves 36 out of 37. Excellent night for Georgiev. His save percentage coming up, his goals against average coming down. Luukkonen saves 29 out of 31. He played pretty well. Luukkonen's a good goaltender. It's just, I think they signed the guys they did because they didn't want him to be stuck on a team that's 8-15-3. They wanted to play in the AHL and develop and get his confidence up. So we'll see how things go from here. Next up, Pittsburgh. So this was the Crosby versus Ovechkin matchup, right? Which they make a big deal about. And apparently in the States, they made such a big deal about it. They put it on ESPN Plus, and it was hard for people to find it otherwise. So, and I can't explain that. Jarry versus Samsonov. Tristan Jarry continues what's been an excellent first third of the season for him. Penguins had the early edge in this one after Ovechkin fires one wide during that first shift. Post then for Rodriguez on a break. Shots are 5-2 for the Penguins 5.5 minutes in. So they came out and they were guns a-blazing right away. Caps get puck possession. They were getting the offensive zone time, needed shots. And again, I've started to hear this now watching these broadcasts where when they show the offensive zone time, Then now color announcers are saying, yeah, but they aren't getting the right shots. They're getting the time, but they're being kept to the outside. So people are starting to notice this, right? Near miss then for Ovechkin. Penguins had a 3-on-1 that fizzles out. Some sloppy play there from both teams. O'Connor was denied by Samsonov, and then Heinen was not. He scores the opening goal from Marino and Matheson at 16-16. The Penguins 11-1 when they score first on the season. Coming into tonight, there was no chance for Samsonov on that. It was a perfect pass by Marino. Caps try to answer. Jarry saves when that takes place. Crosby then with a net drive. Nick Jensen made sure he didn't get there, defended it out, and did it without taking a penalty. So we go to the second period. Jarry saves on Malenstein. Capitals press. Aston Reese ends up clearing it out. Takes it in his own hands. Wilson breaks up a Rodriguez chance. Crosby has a chance that's kicked aside. Zucker was denied. Penguins are in control, and they would score again. It's Brock McGinn, who has been an excellent addition for Pittsburgh, much like Heinen. He scores from Matheson and Aston Reese at 8:37. That one went off Kuznetsov's skate. FLA-ARI was down. McGinn with a shoulder to the chin there. There was no call. I agree with there not necessarily being a call. The head was the primary point of contact, I think, on it. But I didn't see malicious intent. So I don't think anything's coming out of that. But Department of Player Safety, you just never know. But anyways, Kapanen would then score from Crosby and Rodriguez at 11:42. So with Gensel out, the expectation is somebody's going to jump up and have to get those goals. It may very well be Kapanen. Capitals then try to answer. Things get scrappy after a whistle at the Penguins net. The Caps come out of that with a power play. Kuznetsov has a blast that's saved. Ovechkin fires one high. He stays one goal away from the all-time record for power play goals. After tonight's game, the Penguins had killed 27 straight with that one. Penguins then take a penalty at the end of the period. So to start the third, it's 2 minutes of power play time for Washington. And what helps is Boyle was playing without a stick for part of that, so it's 5-on-3.5. Ovechkin has a shot that's saved, and it's killed off. Penguins then get a power play. They're only one of the game. That was killed off as well. And then the Caps get on the board to bring the crowd to life. Kuznetsov from Ovechkin and Sprong at 7:33. Nice rush chance goal. Sprong whiffed on the first chance, and I think because he whiffed on the first shot, I think that threw off the Penguins. Game had opened up. We get rush chances in both directions. Dumoulin was robbed on a cross-crease opportunity. Goaltender gets pulled with 3 minutes left. And Washington scores 6-on-5. It's Eller from Ovechkin and Sherry at 17-14. They would pull the goaltender again with 2:05 left, and that allows Pittsburgh to ice it. It's Carter with his 407th career goal from Crosby and Jarry at 18:07. So Jarry headmans it to Crosby. On this play, the Capitals took exception. They believed that it went off of a linesman who was out of play, but it hit the linesman in a manner that it's still a live puck. They don't whistle it down. So just a bad break for them. And so the Penguins win 4-2. They go to 13-8-5 on the season. The Capitals drop to 16-5-6. Your shots, 11-6 Pittsburgh in the first, 12-11 Washington in the second, 13-11 Washington in the third. In the overtime, there wasn't overtime. Final shots, 33-31 for Pittsburgh. Power plays, 0-for-1 for Pittsburgh, 0-for-2 for Washington. Hits, 32-24 for the Caps. Jarry saves 29 out of 31. Samsonov saves 29 out of 32. Both goaltenders played well. Jarry was just that much better. So Jarry continues what's been an excellent story of his rise once again to being a decent starting goaltender in the NHL after the playoffs that weren't all that inspiring. But hey, he's got it back. Good for him. All right, next up, Predators. So Nashville and New Jersey, two teams that are named, Devils and Predators, two names that may not pass if they were brand new teams now. Nashville, I would think it would be something else. But Saros versus Blackwood, Duchesne is out. So no Matt Duchesne tonight, and Duchesne's off to a very good start to the season. So that hurts Nashville's attack, right? That hurts their first line. Early chances for the Devils. Jonas Siegenthaler ends up hitting the crossbar during some pretty good opportunities there. Things get shovey at the Preds end after Saros makes a save. The Devils get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded break for Jeannot. He backhands it wide because both teams were having trouble hitting the net in that first period. Devils can't set up for the first minute and a half of the power play. Then they do, and the last 30 seconds, Nashville just kills it off. Then the Nashville Predators take another penalty, putting the New Jersey Devils back on the power play. shortly thereafter. That one's killed off even easier. There's no shots on that one at all. So Nashville's PK, pretty good. New Jersey's power play, pretty not good. Shots are 3-2 for the Devils with 9 minutes left. It was a slow period. It was a slow period. Long stretch, neither team with shots, and just firing it wide. Good defense by both teams there. Crossbar for Jeannot, so they're both hitting posts and crossbars as well. 1:55 left. The Devils get their third power play of the first period. Hischier has a shot blocked in the closing seconds, and at the horn there was some unhappiness between these teams that haven't seen each other in a while. Doesn't matter. Second period, the other 5 seconds is killed off by the Nashville Predators. The Devils did get early chances, but they end up taking a penalty. The Predators get that first minute power play. The Devils did kill that off, allowing 2 shots during that power play. So Forsberg had a bad angle shot that missed. The Predators with a 3-on-1. Johansson was denied there. Much better start for the Nashville Predators. Yossi has a chance, saved 8 shots in a row at that point in favor of Nashville. So Nashville had taken the momentum completely in this game. Sharon Govich was then denied on a rush, and then Zacha scores first. So even though Nashville had a very good first or second period going, the first goal goes to the New Jersey Devils. It's Zacha from Bratt and Hischier at 11:34. Johnson then nearly makes it 2-0, but at 13:11, Nashville answers. It's Yossi who had a monster game. From Tomasino and Forsberg, that was after a really strong shift by the Preds as well, so they do get that to pay off. Predators go for the lead on the next shift. There's a power play then for Nashville, and they score on it. It's Tolvanen from Granlund at 17:53. I looked here, and that's Tomasino. Tolvanen from Granlund at 17:53. The Predators then go for another, and Granlund had a fight with Hischier. Nobody saw that coming. So Granlund assist. He didn't have a goal. He did have the fight. So if you were like, well, Granlund will get 2/3 of a Gordie Howe hat trick, you would have assumed that he wasn't getting the fight part of it, but he did. So we go to the third period with Nashville up 2-1. First minute, Devils get a power play. It's the fourth, and the Predators killed that off. Again, New Jersey's going to have to work on that if they're going to really make their record better than what it is. So the Devils press at 5 minutes, and then the puck goes the other way, and Trennan scores from Cousins and Jeannot at 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Bratt with a rush chance. He fires it wide. Devils press. Bratt had another shot. That one was saved. Goalie pull with 4.5 minutes left. I thought that was kind of early, but understandable. You really need this game. You're down by 2. Saros saves as the Devils press there. Zacha was robbed. And then Sharon Govich brings New Jersey a goal closer from Hughes at 18:55. The goalie's pulled again. This is where it just sounded to me like, especially late in the game, ESPN Plus really wanted this game to go to overtime, to the point where I thought they were cheering for Nashville, or for New Jersey against Nashville. So if you were watching this and you could hear the same thing, let me know. ESPN Plus should be a national broadcast, so you go for the more neutral side of it. Like anytime I'm watching Rick Jeanneret, I don't expect Rick Jeanneret to cheer the same way for a Rangers goal as I would for a Buffalo goal. But it felt to me like they really wanted New Jersey to tie the game. The goalie gets pulled again, and they tried, but they were unable to solve Saros. They fall 3-2 at home. They go to 10-10-5. Nashville 16-10-1. They're heating up. They're definitely getting better. And so we'll see how far they can take this. They're second in their division right now. Shots were 6-3 New Jersey in the first, 18-9 Nashville in the second, 16-6 New Jersey in the third. Final shots 31-27 New Jersey. Power plays 1-for-2 for Nashville, 0-for-4 for New Jersey. Hits 34-18 for Nashville. Saros 29 saves on 31 shots. Blackwood saves 24 out of 27. So another good game for Saros. Another win for Nashville. And there we go. Now I need to change boards. All right. So I did that video on Detroit knowing that they were going into a tough stretch of games. I can't say I'm all that surprised. Like, Colorado is intimidating offense-wise right now. Like, they have this ability to do this. 7 is kind of the starting point with them. It's like every night is 80s night for the Colorado Avalanche, even to the point where their goals against is bad. They talked about that in tonight's broadcast. They were kind of laughing about the fact that their goals against is one of the worst in the league, and every other team around them nowhere near the playoffs. But because Colorado can outscore their troubles, here we are. It was Grice versus Kemper. Not for long. O'Connor with the net drives blocked away. Rasmussen was denied in close. And then Compher opens the scoring from Taves and McCarr at 5:01. Avs go for another. They get it. Burakovsky scores from Newhook and Jack Johnson at 7:10. Jack Johnson's putting up decent totals. I didn't see that coming either. Jack Johnson seems to fit in pretty well with the Avs. The Avs get a power play. They don't score on it. However, Helm scores from Aube-Kubel at 10:49. So Darren Helm, willing to score a goal against his former team, and that's the end of Grice's night. Grice was out. Nedeljkovic was in. Wings get a power play. That was a no. Rantanen nearly makes it 4-0. Aube-Kubel was then denied. Avs press with 2 minutes left, but on a turnover, here we go. Nemesnikov from Suter and Sider at 19:07, and then the Wings went for another in that last minute. So it's 3-1 in favor of Colorado after one. Second period. Veleno score from Gagne at 3:21, and that was one that went under Kemper's pad. Not a fantastic goal. So not really a 5-hole goal, but it's one where if he has his pad on the ice, he makes the save there. McKinnon, though, would restore the 2-goal lead from Landeskog and Taves at 3:59. And then Burakovsky scores from Rantanen at 4:22. And then Gerard scores from Jost and Eric Johnson at 7:33. So it's 6-2. And it was funny because at this point, there's a lot of games on, and I'm just checking, going through the app and everything. The app has just been awful lately. But 6 goals on 22 shots overall. And it looked like this could be double digits. So Newhook then had a rush chance that wouldn't go. The Wings get a power play. They do score on it, so they drop the lead to 6-3. Hronik from Zadina and Leddy at 13:34. And the way that the goals have been going in Colorado's net, you don't want to assume anything, right? Larkin blasts one wide. The Wings would press after that. The Wings then go back to the power play. That was unsuccessful. Landeskog exited the game. Don't believe he returned either. I think they said in the third period he wasn't coming back. I've even got that on the board, so not returning. So if Landeskog misses time, who knows how that affects the team. Colorado goes through so many issues with injuries that it's just kind of second nature now. They, much like Pittsburgh, it's kind of the same thing. So third period, first shift, the chances were for the Wings. The Avs get a power play, and then they get 15 seconds of 5-on-3. Everything gets killed off on that one. The Avs pressed after the power play ends. Zadina fires one off of Kemper's mask. 6:49 left. The Wings have the power play. They pulled the goaltender for the 6-on-4. Eventually, Colorado finds the empty net. It's McCarr from Taves at 15:30. And so for Colorado, it's a 7-3 victory. They go to 15-7-2. Remember that mediocre record? It's gone. The Wings dropped to 13-12-3 with the loss. The shots in this one, 14 apiece in the first period, 15-11 Colorado in the second, 18-15 Colorado in the third. Like I said, it's 80s night. Final shots, 47-40 for Colorado. Power plays 1-for-4 for the Detroit Red Wings, 0-for-3 for Colorado. Hits 13-12 for Detroit. Grice saves 4 out of 7, and then Nedeljkovic saved 36 out of 39. So pretty good numbers for Nedeljkovic considering. Kemper saves 37 out of 40. And again, Colorado allows 3 goals, but they score 7, so it's fine. It's fine. You can allow 3 goals as long as you're going to score 7. That's a winning formula every time. All right, next up, Florida. Florida went in tonight against Arizona, and they avoided the dreaded trap, and it didn't really look like it was going to trap them at all. It was Bobrovsky versus Wedgwood. Ulevy making his debut. Ulevy with the Florida Panthers. Doesn't end up getting any points tonight, but just the fact he gets on the ice, I'm happy for him. I wish him the best and all that. Pressed by the Coyotes at 2 minutes. The Coyotes end up getting a power play, and the Panthers wouldn't let him set up. They got one shot on that power play. The Panthers killed it off very well. And then Hornquist from Longberg and Lusterinen at 9:05. And then Bennett on a blast 10 seconds later makes it 2-0 from Reinhart and Ekblad. So at 9:15 of the first period, it already felt like this one was kind of over. Panthers were controlling after what was kind of a slow start. The Coyotes were leading in shots early on, but Predators start getting the control back. Keller has a chance to deflect out. The Coyotes then get their second power play. They do score on it. And it's Kessel from Boyd and Hayden at 16:53. So that gives them a little bit of hope. But the Panthers get a late power play. That's where you stomp that hope out. Reinhart scores on the power play from Hornquist and Huberdeau at 19:35. It's 3-1 for the Panthers after one. Second period. Coyotes getting zone time. Needed shots, more than zone time. Turnovers. Draw the Coyotes. Power play number 3. So, pretty nice play there by the Coyotes. I think it was Keller that got the turnover, and then that forced a Panthers penalty. Panthers, though, they kill it off, and then they pressure after that kill is done. The shots are 4-3 for the Coyotes at the half. Pressed by the Panthers with 8 minutes left. Wedgwood denies Reinhart. The Panthers get a power play. It ends up being 1 minute and 44 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off. The Panthers then get a late power play, and that goes over into the third. Everything all killed off. Gostisbehere is a blast that directs wide. The Panthers were keeping the Coyotes to the outside pretty well during that third period. Wedgwood covers a decent chance for the Panthers. The Panthers weren't really pressing in the third period. They knew what the score was. I think they knew who they were against. It was just try to get this done and over with. Panthers get a power play. That was killed off after a Bennett to Reinhart pass was blocked out by the Arizona Coyotes. Strallman with a net drive also blocked off. So there was nothing in front of the net for either team in that third period. No shots for the Coyotes 9 minutes into this either. They get a power play at 9:26, do those Coyotes. That was also a no. Play picking up late in the period for the Coyotes. Just no finish. Goaltender gets pulled with more than 3 minutes left, with 1 minute and 39 seconds left. The Coyotes call a timeout. To their credit, they didn't allow a shorthand or didn't allow an empty net goal. However, to their detriment, they didn't get a goal either while they were 6-on-5. So your final score is 3-1 in favor of Florida. They go to 18-4-4 on the season. And for Arizona, they dropped to 5-19-2. So we're back to Arizona just not being very good. Shots were 10-8 Florida in the first, 9 apiece in the second, 6-4 Arizona in the third. Final shots 23 each. Power plays, Florida 1 for 4, Arizona 1 for 5. The hits 28-17 for Arizona. Bobrovsky saves 22 out of 23. Wedgwood saves 20 out of 23 at the other end. And so, yeah, the stats are starting to drop for Wedgwood and for Arizona. I think the only answer is trade Wedgwood and then pick him up on waivers again. Every time they pick up Wedgwood, he starts to get wins when he first arrives in Arizona. So that's the trick, right? Just get rid of him and then get him back. Works in a video game, it'll have to work in real life, right? Because video games are real life. Absolutely they are. Sure. Players glitch through the boards all the time. It's one of the reasons I can't play the NHL games. Just glitching through the boards. I'm like, I can't do this. It's 2021. You guys can't figure this out. I'm done. All right, next up. Winnipeg in against Vancouver. And this was a game between two teams that needed a win and played like it. And this was a fun game. It was a fast game. And I might have been singing again after the game. I might have been singing along with the celebration song. 80s night. So when the Canucks scored, they played Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. That is now the worst goal song I've ever heard. That is it. That takes, like, if it's 80s night, was Every Breath You Take taken? Like, it's not a happy song. Don't You Forget About Me is not a happy song. It's just, it's not. So it's Comrie versus Demko. So I won't talk about goal horns and goal songs, but I will talk about when they pick one and I go, wait, what? So, Comrie versus Demko, the first chances for the Jets. Comrie was also passing some early tests from the Canucks. Shots are 4-2, in fact, for Vancouver at 6 minutes, and then Höglander opens the scoring. He scores from Horvat and Hughes at 6:29. Bo Horvat right now is playing some of the best hockey I think he's ever played. And again, Bruce Boudreau just took over 4 days ago. So this isn't just a Bruce Boudreau thing. This is the players starting to play together. This is the players playing for one another and playing like we know that they can. Whether they are or they're not a playoff team is not the point. They're at least playing like they can. And that's all you ask for, right? I know all the way back when I was a kid, I was never mad that the Canucks lost a game. I was mad if they lost the game and they just didn't seem interested in playing that night. So he roofed it, Höglander did. And that's 6 goals in 11 games against the Jets. Höglander likes playing against the Jets. Absolutely seems to love it. And Höglander might have had his best game of the season tonight, too. Canucks press for another. Miller takes a penalty. That's a Jets power play. And the Canucks penalty kill, well, it cost them on this one. Wheeler scores his first goal in 22 games. The last time Blake Wheeler scored a goal was last year against the Canucks. Wheeler's failing is he doesn't play the Canucks often enough. So he gets the goal from Schmidt and Connor at 11:07. So former Canuck Nate Schmidt on the board with that one. Demko then robbed Wheeler of a second. Canucks press with 6 minutes left. Podkolzin to Pettersson, near miss on that one. Connor was robbed by the glove of Demko. And then Höglander scores from Horvat and Demko at 19:40. So the goaltender on the board. And the Canucks are up 2-1 after one. Second period. First minute chance for Höglander. So he's going for the hat trick. Pettersson then nearly buries one. He was denied on that one by Comrie, who had a good game. Jets press at 4 minutes. Demko saves, but eventually one of them goes in. And it's Kyle Connor scoring from Wheeler at 6:09. So Wheeler with a goal and an assist. Garland then scores less than a minute later from JT Miller at 7:06. The shots are 4-4 with 9 minutes left. Both teams with a goal on their 4 shots to that point. Scheifele then ties it up from Connor and Wheeler at 11:08. So Wheeler with 3 points tonight. Blake Wheeler just needs to play against Vancouver, apparently. Garland gets shaken up. He was slow to get off the ice, but he did come back. Scheifele nearly buries another. The Jets score, but it was challenged for goalie interference by Bruce Boudreau, and as soon as I saw the replay, I said, yep, that's goalie interference. It's not a penalty, but when the player comes into the crease and knocks the goalie around and he can't make the save, it's goalie interference. So, Bruce Boudreau's right. He made the challenge, and yeah, it's no goal. Horvat's line then pressed. The Jets end up getting themselves a power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Horvat during that, and it's killed off. Podkolzin then had a chance to deflect high. It's 3-3 after 2. Third period. Canucks out of sync early. And again, we're going to see at some point the Canucks starting to revert to some bad habits. When you get a new coach, you do get that, they're calling it the Bruce bounce, but you do get that elevated play under a new coach, usually for at least the first little while. And then those bad habits come in. I think of like Toronto when Sheldon Keefe took over, where they played really well, and then some of those bad habits start getting in there, and that's where Keefe really had to coach them out of those bad habits that they'd gotten into under Babcock. So the Jets get a power play. This is their third at this stage. The Canucks had 0. Shorthanded chance for Miller, and they killed it off. So to their credit, their penalty kill came through on that one. Besser hits the outside of the post. Comrie holds one as the Canucks were getting some chances. The Canucks then get a power play, and nope. Wheeler hurt his knee in front of the Jets net. It twisted in the wrong direction. He was able to skate off under his own power. He went back to the dressing room. He did not return. No idea what the status is of Wheeler at this point. We will see probably tomorrow. Besser then had a chance that was saved. The Jets iced the puck. In the last minute, Besser had an opportunity as well. That goes high. We go to overtime. Canucks control it on the faceoff. The Jets get it. They turn it over right away. There was a 2-on-1 for the Jets then, defended by Myers. Dubois had a chance that was poke-checked by Demko. Besser's denied. Dubois goes the other way. He fires one wide. Pettersson has a chance. That's saved. Ehlers, breakaway. Demko saves. And then Ehlers takes a penalty with 49.6 seconds left. It was a penalty that I looked at and I thought, why would he do that? So, Ehlers can be kind of an emotional player. Maybe it was just that he didn't get that goal on the breakaway and he was frustrated and the Canucks were going to take the puck the other way. Canucks call a timeout. Doesn't matter. We end up going to the shootout. And in the shootout, there's only one scorer, and it's Elias Pettersson. He scores. The Canucks win 4-3 in a shootout. The Jets drop to 13-9-5 with the shootout loss. The Canucks 11-15-2. They're still 4 games below 500, but they've won 3 in a row this week. So who knew? Your shots in this one, 14-12 Winnipeg in the first, 11-9 Winnipeg in the second, 11-7 Vancouver in the third. In the overtime, Winnipeg outshot Vancouver 5-4. That's a lot of shots for an overtime. Final shots, 37-36 for Winnipeg. Power plays, 1 for 3 for the Jets, 0 for 2 for the Canucks. Hits, 28-22 for Vancouver. Comrie, 33 saves on 36 shots. Demko, 34 saves on 37 shots, and he's the third star. So he was the first star in the first game, second star in the second game, third star in this game. Their next game, he'll be the fourth star. They'll make up a 4th star just so he gets it. So, yeah, I would say the level of optimism in Vancouver is increasing, but it's still just hopeful that they end up with a decent record. But 3 wins in a row, it's the first time this season that's happened. We'll see if they can do it again. All right, next up, Philly. So the Flyers in against Vegas tonight. The Flyers had lost 10 in a row coming into this one, right? At least they're winless in 10. It's Hart versus Brossoit. Flyers get an early power play, but 5 seconds later, it's a 4-on-4. So this is where, so the Flyers shot themselves in the foot as soon as they got a power play. Adds up. And that was then after a big save by Carter Hart, the puck goes the other way, and the Flyers score. It's Hayes from Lawton at 4:21. That scored during the 4-on-4. So Kevin Hayes is on the board. It's 1-0 Flyers. Then they press at 7 minutes. Haig had a rush chance the other way. He fires it high. Strong first half for the Flyers. Vegas then gets a power play. Hart denies Smith. That's killed off. Vegas presses with 2 minutes left. Eventually, they get a goal. They tie it up. It's Carlson from Marchessault and Smith at 19 minutes and 11 seconds. So we go to the second period tied at 1. Close call for Vegas in the first minute. Pacioretty has a net drive that's denied. And then Woolman scores his first NHL goal from Brown and McEwen at 5:53. That makes it 2-1 in favor of the Flyers. Of course, Patrick Brown, a former Vegas Golden Knight player. And that's McEwen's first assist as a member of the Flyers. Giroux with a rush chance. That's defended. Theodore has a blast that's saved. There's a press by Vegas with 8 minutes left. They get themselves a power play. The Flyers penalty kill wouldn't let them set up. Wouldn't let them set up at all, and it's killed off. But before the period's out, Vegas does get a goal. It's Pacioretty from Pietrangelo and Stone at 18:30. So again, it's a late goal to tie it up for Vegas. It's the same storyline, right? And then in the last minute, Vegas presses for the lead. But it's 2-2 after 2. Third period. Dodonov tips one wide as Vegas presses. Flyers get a power play. They score on it. Yep. It's Couturier from Yandel and Giroux at 3:54. Couturier just blasted that one through Brossoit. Vegas nearly answers right away. With 14:28 left, things are getting scrappy at the Flyers net after Hart saves one and holds onto it. Provorov can't bury one. Philly comes out with a power play. And they score on it. It's Van Riemsdyk from Konechny and Yandel at 9:37. So Keith Yandel with a couple of assists. He gets closer to Doug Jarvis's Ironman record, right? Hart then denies Pacioretty with 9:32 left. Vegas gets power play. During that, Ristolainen denied Stone of a goal. It was a certain goal for him, and it's killed off. Janmark was then robbed after it ended by Hart. Carter Hart continues to have some pretty good games during this run. Even though Philadelphia is losing everything, Hart has, for the most part, been pretty darn good. He's had a couple of off games, but he's been pretty good through most of it. So there's another Vegas power play. It's killed off. We're down to 4.5 minutes left. Goaltender gets pulled with two plus minutes left, and with 2:10 left, Vegas gets their 6th power play. They finally score on one. All it takes is a 6-on-4. It's Pacioretty from Theodore, and that's at 18:15. That's your goal right there. That makes it 4-3. And if you're a Flyers fan, well, that tightens everything up, right? You're like, oh, not this, not now. Come on, no. And yeah, 55.4 seconds left. Vegas calls a timeout. Whatever they discussed doesn't work. Philadelphia holds on, wins this one. Couple icings there. They made it dicey at the end, but they win it 4-3. They go to 9-12-4 with the win, and Vegas drops to 15-11. They have to feel like this is a lost opportunity, and yeah, so there you go. 30 points for them. The Canucks now have 24. The Canucks are 6 points behind them. Of course, they have 2 games in hand, but still. Shots, 12-10 for Vegas in the first, 16-8 Vegas in the second, 16-7 Vegas in the third. Final shots were 44-25 for Vegas. Vegas outplayed Philly. Power plays, Vegas 1 for 6. Philly was 2 for 3. Big part of the storyline right there. Hits were 30-20 for Philly. Hart saves 41 out of 44. He was excellent. And Brossoit saves 21 out of 25. So, if you're thinking, well, I'm glad it's not Leonard, Brossoit doesn't have the save percentage tonight either. And again, I don't know if things are like this with Vegas, and if they don't have strength, like if they don't have the confidence in their goaltending, what happens, right? Something you would think would have to happen. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.